So I wouldn't call myself a Beetlejuice super fan, but I am a fan of quite a few Tim Burton movies. Like I think he's a really, really good filmmaker. And Michael Keaton, I mean, come on, how can you not love Michael Keaton? I love it when he does a comedic performance. I mean, if he was on Saturday Night Live years ago, but man, there's so many great ones. Anyway, so yeah, I was excited about Beetlejuice, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be any good. So I went and saw it. Let's talk about it. So this is going to be a non-spoiler review. It's not like I'm going to spoil a lot of the things in this, and I just don't think there's a whole lot that I need to spoil. It's a Beetlejuice movie, so it's wacky, it's crazy, it's fun. But yeah, so the original movie came out in 1988, and Tim Burton was actually working on the script for Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian back in 1990. So it's taken 34 years for the Beetlejuice sequel to come to screens. That's crazy. But I think that he probably could have used another draft or two. Now look, I've written one screenplay, so it's not like I'm this, the end all be all for script writing. But I feel like there was just a lot going on in this movie, almost to the point where you feel like the heart of the movie is, it keeps cutting away from that, and that's strange. You kind of want to beeline to what matters. The heart of the story. You know what I'm saying? Even though there are way too many threads to keep track of plot wise, I still think that all the actors did a really really good job. And so let's talk about those. So first off, you have Jenna Ortega and Winona Ryder playing daughter and mother in Astrid and Lydia. I think they did a great job. Jenna Ortega, I've only seen her in one movie prior to this, and that was the movie X, where she was playing a part where it was kind of like, yeah, she's gonna be one to watch her career, because yeah, that was kind of a star making performance, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I think she did a really good job, even though I think there were a couple of scenes where it was like, I think they could have used another take, because that was a strange delivery. But I'm nitpicking. Winona Ryder looks amazing, and I've always kind of had a soft spot for Winona Ryder. I've always liked her. Um, you know, schoolboy crush and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think she did great. She carries the movie, or at least the live portion of the movie, if you know what I'm saying. All the supporting actors are really good too. You got Justin Theroux, you have Monica Bellucci, you have Willem Dafoe. I think for what they were given, I think they did a really, really good job. Even though I kind of feel like, as I said before, too many threads, and honestly, some of those might have been on the cutting room floor, at least in my opinion. But I still think they did a fine job acting wise. I think they were all having a lot of fun with this movie. I mean, that's one of the things that you love seeing when you're watching a movie, is that the actors are actually giving it, 100% because they're enjoying themselves. That's a good thing. But man, honestly, the biggest surprise for me was Catherine O'Hara. And which shouldn't be a surprise, because she's been like a solid actress for, I mean, however many years. Her career goes back decades, and she's amazing in this. She has some great lines that seriously made my wife and I both just, I mean, we were cracking up. She was really funny in this. But the movie's called Beetlejuice, so how did Michael Keaton do? I mean, come on. You know Michael Keaton was going to kill this. He loves playing Beetlejuice. You can tell he's having a great time, and we're having a great time because of it. I, I've been a fan of Michael Keaton ever since I saw him as a very small kid back in the early 80s, Mr. Mom. If anybody remembers that movie, that's the movie that made me fall in love with Michael Keaton and just say, that guy is one of my favorite, just funny men. He's just a funny guy. And the way that he delivers some of his lines in this is great. There's a lot of surprises that, I didn't expect Beetlejuice to do those things or to say those things. Is really funny. It was really good. And the set design, the costume design, amazing. And you can tell that everybody making this movie was giving it a lot, right? They were giving a lot of themselves, because There's just a lot of love in the production. You know, the way that everything was designed, the way that it was, I mean, it was shot and everything, great. I mean, no problems there, right? But also, they used a lot of practical effects in this movie, like a lot, like a surprising amount. Like I didn't realize that they were going to go so heavy, and of course it being Tim Burton and it being Beetlejuice, I should have known that. I should have, of course. There's going to be a lot of practical effects, but yeah, I really enjoyed seeing that and just experiencing the movie from that perspective. So, what would I give this as a score? It's kind of strange because again, I feel like the story is not great. The story is messy. I feel like there's just way too much going on. For an hour and 44-minute runtime, it felt long, which is strange. I mean, I was kind of thinking, oh yeah, we'll be home by this time or whatever. I was worried because I was sitting there going, this feels like it's taking a long time to get anywhere. So I feel like, again, the script kind of let them down a little bit. So that kind of makes me think, okay, this is maybe like a 2.5 out of 4 stars. But the thing is, I had such a good time. I mean, I really laughed a lot. My wife was enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. It was hard. It's hard for me to give it less than a 3. So I say, if you're a Beetlejuice fan, you need to see this movie. You need to go out to the theater and support this movie. I think it's well worth your time. Now, I do want to mention that we went to the Evo theater that's in Southlake, which is, kind of a drive for us. It's not like, oh, let's go across the street or whatever to our local. No, we went to the Evo. And what's weird is there was a premiere at the Evo tonight. And that was for God's Not Dead, In God We Trust. That was the premiere. And we got to see Dean Cain, from, what is it, the Superman and Lois? I don't know. I've never seen him in anything, I don't think. But yeah, we saw Dean Cain and it was weird. And there was, all this stuff set up for the premiere and, places where you could take pictures, and it was strange. But what that ended up doing is they ended up changing the screening for Beetlejuice and took it out of the big theater and put it in one of the smaller theaters, which meant that our seating assignment, that I always pick the center of the theater. I want good sound for both sides. I want to see the whole screen. I want to be able to do this. I don't want to be doing this, or you know what I'm saying? I want to be in the center. They put us in the top right of the theater, and seated next to us were a family that wanted to talk through the whole movie. So April and I actually got up and moved, which I've never done, especially with assigned seating. I've never done that before, but we moved, and we moved into the lower expensive seats because, screw it. So that's what we did. So it almost kind of ruined the movie a little bit. At least the first 10 minutes or so. But like I said, it doesn't affect the movie itself. But I just thought that was interesting, and I thought I should add that into the review. There's probably nobody watching anymore, but that's okay. So, Beetlejuice, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Did you have a great time like I did? Were you a little, I don't know, just kind of like, hey, would you just kind of get on with it? I mean, I want to hear your thoughts. I know there's going to be people that are just going to love this movie, and there are going to be people that don't like it at all. I'd like to hear from you. I'm not going to judge, that's just the way it is here at the old Order 42 channel, art is subjective. So let's talk about it. It's fun. It's fun to talk about it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I think everyone did a really, really good job in this movie. So let's talk about the actors.